So in this chapter, we've been introduced to amino acids and the fact that they are the building blocks of proteins. In the next chapter, we'll be introduced to a lot more information about proteins, such as their primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary structure, their overall 3D conformation, and that sort of thing. But in this chapter, to conclude this chapter, we'll just talk a little bit about what proteins are and how big they are and that sort of thing. So proteins are, or peptides rather, are short polymers of amino acids. Each amino acid is called a residue. So each amino acid in a protein is called a residue. Two residues is a dipeptide. Three residues is a tripeptide. So in other words, if we have two amino acids together, we've got a dipeptide. Three amino acids together is a tripeptide. 12 to 20 amino acids or residues is called an oligopeptide, and many is called a polypeptide or a protein. So a protein is one or more polypeptide chains. One polypeptide chain is a monomeric protein. More than one is a multimeric protein. A homomultimer is one kind of chain, but you have more than one of them together. A heteromultimer is two or more different chains together. Okay, we'll talk about that again more in the next chapter. Hemoglobin, for example, is a heterotetramer. Okay, it has two alpha chains and two beta chains to make up the whole protein hemoglobin. Insulin consists of an alpha chain of 21 residues or amino acids and a beta chain of 30 residues for a total molecular weight of 5,733. This is a fairly small protein actually. Glutamine synthetase has 12 subunits of 468 residues each for a total molecular weight of 600,000. And that's going to be in atomic mass units. Alpha connectin is a muscle protein which has a molecular weight of 2.8 million, and beta connectin has a molecular weight of 2.1 million with a length of 1,000 nanometers, and in fact it can stretch to 3,000 nanometers. So we have here just some different examples of proteins. We have insulin, which has a molecular weight of 5,733, and they go up to 12,000, 16,000, 149,000, and so on. So glutamine synthetase in E. coli is a molecular weight of 600,000, and this is an example of how many residues per chain we have. So we have some small proteins like insulin and large proteins like myoglobin, which can have a molecular weight anywhere from 5,733 to 16,980, and even this isn't really all that large. See, here we have hemoglobin, which has a molecular weight of 64,000, immunoglobulin, which has a molecular weight of 149,000, and glutamine synthetase with a molecular weight of 600,000. We can also see here the amazing regular structure of these molecules. So the sequence of amino acids is a unique characteristic of every protein. It's encoded by the nucleotide sequence of DNA and is thus a form of genetic information. It's read from the amino terminus to the carboxy terminus, and so proteins perform many different functions in the body, and they're basically the driving force for most chemical reactions that occur in the body, and we'll study more about proteins in the next chapter.